Now, the next button here on the overlays panel is the screen share button. So instead of making the entire scene a screen share, you can add those different types of applications where you're visually seeing the application that you're working on, or the desktop screen share, and you can add that as an overlay. So let's switch over to that scene where I originally had the overlay of the video playing. Now, instead, I actually want this to be a desktop screen share. So what I can do is I can click on this third button here, and all of a sudden it will show the default desktop that I have, and it will use the same different rounded corners as my original assets, or the last one that I had created. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on the pencil icon, and now I can change the different variations or the settings on this specific overlay. So I can say right now that's actually showing the primary display, but I want to show my third connected display, which is the browser that I had running Ecamm Live. I want to go ahead and further edit this, and I want to say, well, that is a wide 16:9 screen. If it was a phone, maybe I'll switch it over to the tall format, or maybe, the display is an older 4:3 ratio. So maybe it's a PowerPoint display on an old computer screen. So I can go ahead and choose the widescreen on this one. And let's see, the next one here is the border. So the border is what shows up around the image itself. So you'll notice that there's nothing there. If I select color, then I can go ahead and open now this little color window here. And I can say, actually, I want it to be white, and it's not transparent, like 50% transparency. The opacity is actually 100%, so I cannot see through it at all. So you can see here now that this actually has a white border to it. And when that is enabled, the border, right, I can now switch the border width. So I can make it a little bit finer or super thick. So you can just do that based on your preference. If I go over to gradients, now two colors actually show up, and I can say the first color is going to be this white color, and the second color I'm going to switch over to, my RGB sliders, and is going to be red. And so now you can see that it's red on top and then white on the bottom. And actually, let me make it even more red. So you can see that there's that gradient. Now, if I wanted to change the angle of that gradient, I can go ahead and select that. And so if I just want the bottom right color to be red, I can do something like that. So that is the gradient type, or I can make that actually move. Now, the motion is exactly like the gradient, but what it does is it actually moves everything in a rotational circle. So now that I've got the same white and red, you'll see here, the red is now moving around in a slow pace. So this is kind of keeps things a little bit active on your screen. I personally kind of like this style where I have that. Now, that's the actual motion overlay. Now the border width, I already went over. The corner radius, so this is the rounded corner edges. It allows me to make them super round or not so round, and zero roundness, basically square corners, is going to be the zero. The slider is basically on the most left. But if I want just a slight roundness, I can do that. Now, this is basically me clicking and dragging this slider. Now, if you want to do one piece increments, I can really go and just move my mouse really as slowly possible, or you can hover your mouse above this item here, and you can use your left and right arrows to increase them by the increment or decrement by 1. So you can do something like that. Now, for visual sake, I'm going to do a really round corner here, and you'll see by default all 4 corners are round. I can make just the top 2 corners round, the bottom corner square, or I can make opposite corners like that, so it kind of looks like almost like a leaf. So, your different designs, again, are going to be customized to however you want. So you can do something like that. Now, keep in mind, now that I've got this overlay, any other overlay that I add by default will now have the exact same pattern. So let's say I don't want this camera overlay and I wanted to just duplicate that. So I'm just going to hide this right now. If I added my camera overlay, you'll see it has the exact same dimensions. It's the wide 16:9. It's the the certain pixels of the border. It's the white and the red that goes around. So that is that now. Now the other way that I could do this, I'm just going to go ahead and drag this into the trash can. The other way that I can do this is I'm going to share or show my screen again. The other way I could do this is I can say right click and I can copy it. and then I can click on the camera overlay and I can say paste the settings. And now that pastes the exact same visual displays of what this overlay is onto whatever other overlay that I've now pasted that settings to. So now you can keep all of your overlays with the exact same type of style. So let's go through some of the other options here. You've got more options, and it says zoom to app windows. So if you are changing your screen display, and let's say, for example, I'm going to show, let's see, the Stream Deck app. Okay, by default, you'll see, because I've chosen the 16:9, the display is going to show the desktop on the sides, and I can't really change the dimensions of that. If I wanted it just to be the app, then I have to go here and go to custom, and then I can shrink the sides so that it's not showing any of that stuff on the side, and then I can do something like that, make it really big. Okay, now if I wanted to kind of add a little bit of the desktop, you'll notice that I can't do that. I can only do the top and bottom, or the left and right. So I actually have to go into Ecamm Live Preferences, and I have to go into the screen sharing, and then I have to add margin when zooming into an app or window. So you'll see I just enabled that, and I went through this in the previous video, but you'll see now it has a little bit of a margin there. So now it's kind of like, it gives you a little bit of an extra visual sense that there's a desktop behind it. So that's kind of neat. So there's that option here. Now, to zoom to the app window means that if the application is small, like it's not the full screen, this overlay is going to zoom into it. Or if I uncheck it, it goes back to the full resolution of the display. And so that one is basically like this. If I have to show the full display, and I have that window in the top right corner of my display. So this is not necessarily what I'll always really want. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on zoom to the app window, and then move that around as I see fit to do that presentation. So now anything that I do inside of this application, or on top of this application, this will actually look like that. Okay, so there's that one setting here. Now, this next option here is the green screen key option. So essentially, this is chroma key in the video world, we call it. What this means is that anything that's green can be knocked out. So let me just change this overlay and show you that I've got this presentation slide on one of my displays. And you can see that it looks like this. And I'm going to go ahead and change the size settings so that it's complete. And let's just do this. Let's move that. And where is this? I'm going to do 0 border and 0 curvies outline. So now I'm going to, I'm basically using my scroll wheel to make this full screen. And you'll see here, there's a green section in the middle. So let's click on the little pencil icon, and let's enable green screen key overlay. Oh, wow, look at that. It knocked out whatever was green. So now I can say, well, you know what? I want my video in the background. And here's my overlay. I hope you're really enjoying this Ecamm Live Masterclass, because this has been an absolute joy for me to actually create. And the reason why is because I just love Ecamm Live, and I love the whole aspect of content creation, and I hope that you do as well. So please go ahead, leave some comments below. Let me know how you feel about this. Let me know if you have other questions about the specific topic that I'm sharing in this video. And another thing that I really want you to do right now is I want you to go ahead and scan this QR code, or click the link in the description below, because this is where I'm going to be housing not only just this Ecamm Live Masterclass, but a lot of cool extras that are not going to be found on YouTube. So you have to register for absolutely for free in order to grab this content. It's in my member portal. So go ahead, scan the QR code, or click the link in the description, and I will see you on the other side. Now, back to the regular show. So now I'm in this tiny little screen here. So this is kind of a neat way for you to do certain things on your other computer displays that you're sharing, knocking out the green. Now, where people use this a lot is in PowerPoint presentations. Like this example, this is a full screen overlay that's for from Canva, right? So you can see here, this is actually green. Now, if I go back and I disable the green screen, you'll see here, this is exactly what that looks like. And I'm hiding in the back. But because that option or that color is green and I click on enable green screen, it now knocks that out. So this is a neat little way for you to go ahead and add some cool things in addition or on top of your scene itself.